Hello there, YouTube. My name is Jacob, and as always, here at the PNCLCG is where you want to be. Because today, oh man, do I have a awesome video for you. Now, you may be noticing the Ferrari attire here, and for those of you that are familiar with my channel, you know that I do a thing on Fridays where I drive around in my Ferrari live racers and I just win races. You may also have heard that this Friday will be the first live stream on the channel that I'm very excited to share that with you. Please, if you are excited for that, please leave in the comment section down below what time you would prefer to have that live stream be. I'm thinking that it will be sometime in the evening between 4 and 10 in the evening at the latest. So if that's something that interests you, please leave that down in the comment section below, and I'd be greatly happy to accommodate any requests for when that live stream will go up, where I will basically be driving in my car and racing against all of you. And if you come find me and you hit me up on the live stream, I will race you. I will bet you 200K. You will get to claim it, and you'll get to just go on your merry way. So, today is not that video, clearly, because I would be live streaming otherwise. So, here's why I am wearing what I'm wearing, and here's why this is probably going to be the happiest video that I have recorded to this date here on the channel. As I was going in to manage SS4, our Swift Syndicate 4, which is my crew, shout out to them, they are awesome, I noticed that my account was uploading in a very peculiar way that I had not ever seen before. And right before my eyes, I watched as the account switched over, and all of a sudden, one of the lovely support people that I talked to, and I have spoken to probably somewhere around 21 different support people about my account being destroyed and about the issue and everything like that. And they were able to finally be able to go back into the account, restore all my old progress, all my old cars, keys, gold, cash, you name it, all my cars in the original state that they were in, including whether they were dropped or bumped or anything like that. And so in today's video, while I'm going to be roughly showcasing my account that I've finally gotten back, that I'm very excited to make videos with in full on the channel, this account has way more stuff to be able to share with you all watching at home, and I'm really pleased and excited to be sharing with you. But the number one thing above all other things in that account that I'm beyond stoked to share with you is my personal favorite car that exists in the entire world. I have it in CSR2. It is what I consider to be one of the greatest live racing cars that exist in the entire game. So without further ado, I bring you my favorite car in the world, the Enzo Ferrari in CSR2. Now this is the Purple Star version that you could win from Showdowns a while back when the Showdowns were absolutely bonkers crazy. They were based off of dyno beating, and it was just an insane grind. It took me a very long time to be able to finally get this car, but when I did, oh man, was I stoked. I had, honest to goodness, no idea what kind of car this was, though. I had no idea how strong a car this would be in CSR2. They made this what is probably the best live racing car that you could get for free, that you did not have to spend money on, in my opinion, because of it being a Tier 5, Purple Stars, Ferrari, which means you have access to fusions to some degree. You can get Stage 6 parts for it because they had a whole bunch of crates and showdown and this and that. And then they also did another event on top of that where you could get more crates for this car. So without further ado, I bring you my low performance point high Evo Ferrari Enzo. Now, I have showcased on the channel previously what a low performance point or a lower performance point over 1,000 Evo car is. And if you watched my previous video on how to live race part 1, part 2 is incoming in, so please stay tuned for that. I have that coming in the pipeline very, very soon. But yeah, so in that video, all it took was one race with my Ferrari Roma against an NSX-R in live racing where I didn't even beat my dyno. I just simply ran a lot harder than I had been running, and bam, my car was bumped. That was all it took. Now, those were on extremely low performance point settings, and it was when you have a low performance point 1,000 Evo car, it is not the same as having a low performance point high Evo car. First of all, low performance point high Evo cars, and this is basically what I'm going to do this video on, besides the fact of showcasing that I have been able to get my account back, been able to get what I consider to be the greatest car of all time in CSR2 back to show with you on the channel. I will be doing a full in-depth run of this car along with the Roma and a whole bunch of other cars that I have in this account, so please stay tuned. If there is a car that you really badly want to see and you say, hey, I have this car, I don't know if it's any good, I want to know if I can beat down with it, if I can destroy things with it, please leave it in the comments section down below. If I have that car, I will be sure to make a video on it and be sure to get that out to you as soon as I can, as I have a lot of videos coming in the next several days already in the pipeline. But, again, this is my car. I currently have this car on 639 performance points. As you can see, this car is set up very similarly to the Ferrari Roma, but with some exceptions. First of all, as you can see, I am only missing one Stage 6 part. I am very sad about that, by the way. I really, really wanted to have the Stage 6 part for this, so I am really hoping that at some point I will just have the luck to be able to pull this Stage 6 crate, or a Stage 6 part, or they'll give me a crate that I can win it in a later event, something of that nature where I can get this last Stage 6 part, since this is my most dedicated, desired, beloved car, and I would love to have all Stage 6 parts, even though I'll never use it, because I refuse to use this car on any other setting other than these, and you'll see why very soon. No engine, no turbo, no intake, Stage 2 nitrous, Stage 5 body, Stage 3 tires, Stage 4 transmission. Very bare bones car, and yet 1738 respect points. This car is a monster. Monster car. So then the question becomes, okay, what the heck does it even mean to have a low performance point high Evo car? So the first thing, I'm just going to tell you, my dyno says 11.387. This car can 100% run above that. 100%. This car can run probably around a 10.9 if I really ran it on the absolute perfect run. Excuse me, sorry, with everything, and it is a difficult car to get the perfect run in, but you don't need it. That's what's so amazing about this car, is you don't even need it. It gets 1307 RP every live race, which compared to my Roma setup, which was getting in the 1370s, 90s, and then 1400s, sure, it's less. But the win percentage with this car is so high that you'll never experience it, because you'll just win every darn race that you do. It's amazing. Um, but the kicker is low performance point high Evo cars have something known as advantageous matchmaking. What that means is that when you go into a lobby with your low performance point high Evo car, you essentially have what is basically like almost a mini drop. And you will hear me refer to that term in my part 2 of what is live racing. So please stay tuned for that if you're interested in what that is, what that means, etc., etc. But basically put, you are going to be against cars that are going to be slightly slower than you on average. But then on top of that, when you run over everybody, you run over your dyno even, the car is just like, alright, whatever, next. Give me the next person, give me the next car to chew up and spit out. It is crazy. You see this with the NSX-R in a lot of the lower lobbies, and in fact, you see it even in the lobbies that this car is going to be in, so I'm excited to show that off. That is going to be... Some players are going to cry, other players are going to cheer. If you have the NSX-R, now you know your car is not the best. It isn't even close to being the best. You're going to learn that real quick with this car. But, yes, so without further ado, I'm just going to show you what I mean by this. I'm going to put the words on the road instead of just having them come out of my mouth. Let's get it to it. Let's get some live races. Okay, we do not have very many people. We're going to race this person. Now remember, the dyno time says 11.387. I am a low performance point high Evo car, so if I run a crazy amount, I have no issues with it. And this car is the type of car that, as you saw, I just went and bet 30,000. Okay, this person is looking for entertainment. And this is one of the things you can do with this car. That is what makes it just absolutely bonkers nuts. I have no issue betting $200,000 against every single person I race. And I am completely and honestly serious about that. This car is that ridiculous. Now, they didn't bet me $200,000. I'm glad they didn't bet me $200,000. To be honest, they were going to lose it. I was hoping that I would scare them off and they would just move on. And sure enough, they did. But part of it was also I wanted to showcase the fact that I am not afraid to bet with this car at all. Unlike with the Roma, you do not bet with a low performance point or even a higher performance point and over 1,000 Evo car. You just simply don't do it like you do for this car. So, we're going to race them again. Hopefully they don't bet us. Yep, they're not even going to race us. That's fine. I'm not too bothered by that. I don't need to be able to race you to be able to showcase what this Enzo is capable of. I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that have raced against an NSX-R and they go, oh yeah, I've lost to that car a million times. If you've been around in CSR2 long enough. If you haven't, lucky you. Those cars are freaking everywhere. Everybody tries to use them. Everybody tries to beat you with them. Alright, here we go. I'm not even going to bet because I just want to get a race in. Again, dyno says 11.387. And this car has probably one of the best sounding engines in all of CSR2. Now you see how I have that massive needle drop there. That tells you right there that this car is a dyno destroyer. Now take a look at that. I had to downshift so hard just for him to be able to pass me. Look at that. 11.387. He ran a 12.096. I ran a 12.143. Let's go after him again. Because obviously this car has an 11.387 dyno. I am not even remotely close to being able to have to run a 12.1. Alright, here we go. Let's get some bets in. Let's get some money flowing. There we go. This is what this car is all about. Not only is it about winning every darn live race, it's about making money. Take a look at this. Here we go. Now I nailed it perfectly, and that's one of the things about this car that you've got to get right, is that super start. And good night. Oh, dear. I just barely missed it. Okay, as you can tell, I have not raced in this car for so long that I have lost a little bit of my touch, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. That time we ran even slower and lost. So, again, this car is well more than capable. Alright, now I'm gonna make my money back. Let's actually make it. This time, I am not gonna downshift too much. I'm not gonna go crazy on it. I'm not gonna use nitrous, because I won't need it. I almost never ever need nitrous with this car. And here we go. Let's showcase what this thing really can do. And man, I love that sound. Oh my goodness, that is just my favorite sounding car. Now you'll notice this car has 4 gears, and that's it. There we go. Got him. No biggie. And he definitely pushed on that one. Take a look. 11.927, 11.856, 1307 RP, $100,000 bet. Like it's nothing. Now sure, that's not a crazy car. Now it does beat Dyno by 0.2 or 0.3, as I've showcased on my channel. If you want to see how to make that car a Dyno beating car with low performance point over 1,000 Evo, please check that video out on my channel. I actually made 2 videos on it for people that are trying to complete the PC Cup before it ends this season, since it ends today. But yeah, so I ran an 11.8, took some money back that I let that guy take from me. Let's hope that this guy will let me race him, or he or she. I'm assuming it's he with Jonas Jaden, but I could be very wrong. Yeah, probably not. Whoever that is probably not going to race me. I love how this person's name is Don't Race Me. What an interesting name. This lobby is going stale, so at this point, since I want to not just have you be looking at a random blank screen, I'm going to jump out and jump back in, and let's see who else we can find. Let's see if it's... Alright, good. It's not the same, and look at that. We love to see it. NSXR is in the lobby. We're only going to bet 20. I don't try to bet too much unless they bet me too much. Alright, didn't want to race. This is a monster. Dyno destroying monster. Alright, this person is a new person. I'm not going to bet them. I don't need to take their money. I don't need their money. I can win off of those darn NSXRs that kill everybody else. Oh my goodness. I have forgotten how good this car sounds and how good it feels to drive. It is just... It's like... Almost it's like an experience. For me personally. Now, that might just be me. Again, 11.892 to beat an 11.948 on a 11.378 dyno. This car is crazy, and that car is no slouch either. That is a dyno-destroying car. Now, when you see my video about the Ferrari Roma, I am going to mention... Oh, I lost. That's alright. I am not even remotely sad. I underran. I underperformed at that time. Not even a big deal. I really could care less. I'm more than happy to swap with this person if that's what they're looking to do, because that's what it looks like at this point. There we go. Beautiful. There they are. Got them. Taken care of. No big deal. Again, running 11.8s and having no issue. Alright, at this point, I want to race other people. If this person bets me, I'm probably going to have to give it to them, because they're new. Alright, good. Thank you. There we go. This is who we want. Let's let it absolutely rip. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on, NSXR. Oh, yeah. This is what we came for right here. Say hello to the NSXR Obliterator. Say good night. Goodbye. See ya. Not even close. Goodbye. Gone. Well, there you have it. Take a look at that. 11.799, and I'm in an 11.387 car. Blasted them. Absolutely blasted them. I'm going to do a 200K bet again. I want to see if they can race harder than that. And sure enough, they do. We're going to take another 200K, and this is what I'm talking about. This is the NSXR Eater, because everybody thinks they can come in here and beat this car. They can't beat this car. You cannot beat this car. Try as much as you want. You're not getting past me at all. Yeah. This is why I was so downtrodden when I lost this account. This is the one and only car that I've found in live racing that will kick the crap out of the NSXR and out of every other live racer, including the Koenigsegg's. I eat Koenigsegg's for breakfast in this car. It is amazing. Now, you just saw that I ran pretty darn close to dyno there, right? I ran a pretty bad, I had some pretty bad runs, all right? Let's race this guy here. I'm going to purposely lose to him, or her, Vinny, I assume it's a him. And then I'm going to jump out of the lobby. Because as you saw with the Ferrari Roma, if you watched my video on live racing part 1, all it took was one single NSXR and my car got bumped. I wasn't in the same lobby anymore. So there you go, dude. Have a nice little win there. Thank you for racing. Life is good. Now this is actually a crew milestone car. So this person must have been in a pretty impressive crew. Alright, this guy wants to race me again. Sorry, man. I'm going to, for the sake of time and for the sake of this video, I'm going to jump out. Alright, we got a bunch of junk here. Whatever. I'm going to jump right back in. And wouldn't you know, voila. Same exact, similar people that I was racing against. Now, it's a different lobby, sure. But we were racing against this one, this one, this one. All these people, except for these two here, are the exact same people that I saw earlier. In other words, not only has the car not been bumped, and look, there we are. We're right back where we were, okay? That is why this car is the NSXR Eater. I can do as much damage as I want. I can blow the doors. And here's another car that is an absolute monster. TVR Griffith. Right here. Absolute beast of a car. Typically speaking, you would never go up to them and just bet 200,000. And yet, in this car, I do not care at all. I can beat anybody I want to beat, no matter what time of day it is, rain or shine, it don't matter. This car will eat you. So if you are up against this car and you see someone bet you $200,000, either they know how to get this thing done, because I did have to go through the whole process of dropping a car and everything like that to be able to get it to do this, which is why I will be uploading how to do that in full depth in my live racing part 2. Sorry, I had to focus there. That person had a strong ending there. So 11.821, 11.788. Still, I am not even remotely coming close to beating my dyno. I am anywhere between 0.4 to, in some cases, 0.6 below my dyno at times. And now, against the NSXR, sure, I was 0.1, so be it. And all of these cars are dyno beaters. The Mercedes is a dyno beater. I have done videos on my channel of how this car is a dyno beater. Alright, no big deal. I'm trying to get in with either this car here, because this is a dyno beater, or this car here. So let's just do this. The TVR Griffith, which typically speaking, when you see one of these, you go, crap. Not today. This is the Griffith NSXR Koenigsegg ETC Eater. Here we go. Let's get it. Let's absolutely get it. Let's go. Here we go. Don't worry. Don't worry. Hang on. Bye-bye! And that's why this car does what the NSXR cannot. It outspeeds everything. The Griffith is the only car that can really take it to the NSXR at times. And as you saw right there, blew them up. Absolutely blew them up. No issues at all. And that is a strong car in a strong lobby. Now, for the sake of my car, I am going to race this, and I am going to do poorly, just because of the fact that I still play it safe even with this car. I still try not to bet a crazy amount all the time. However, for the purposes and sake of this video, of me celebrating the fact that first of all my account is back, and I get to share what is the NSXR TVR Griffith ETC Eater in live racing to all of you. On top of that, it's my favorite car, and I refuse to have it be bumped out of this scenario. I want it to be able to stay in this lobby and eat people forever. Because as you see, I can go up to anybody, don't matter what they bet me, it doesn't matter what car they have, doesn't matter how much they beat Dyno, I don't care. You're going to get beaten by the Enzo, even if it takes me until the very end of the race. Now here's this guy. I took quite a bit of his money earlier, and I do feel bad about that because it is a newer player, and now that I see that it's a player who's deleted their Supra, I'm 100% letting them win this race. So, here you go. I feel really bad. I was just trying to scare him off because he was betting quite a lot. But if he had actually raced me, I would have given him the 200K. Just for those that are watching, I am not that kind of jerk. But for the NSXRs and the TVR Griffiths that prey on people, like the newer players that have deleted their Supra and this and that, I feel no remorse. You brought it upon yourself when you decided to come into a lobby that is exclusively newer players and feed on them. I do not take any favor or any pleasure in taking my Ferrari and beating these players and taking their money. I almost always let those kind of players win if they bet me, because I always feel bad about the fact that they just don't have this car. This is a car that it took quite a bit. All right, this guy wants to bet. No big deal. This is another big dyno beating car. And again, we're going to prove that you cannot stop this car. All right, that was a perfect launch right there. So, goodbye. Absolutely gone. Now this person is disconnecting. You can see that there clearly. So I wanted to finish out the race as hard as I could, because sometimes you'll see it where they'll disconnect, and then all of a sudden they'll get past you, and I did not want to see that. That would have made me very frustrated. It probably was that person realized they were going to lose and disconnected on purpose. You see that all the time. I think that about pretty much sums it up. This is the power of a low performance point high Evo car. I can beat Dyno even. I could have beaten Dyno on that Griffith, and I almost did. And no matter what I do, this car still finds its way back to the exact same lobby. It doesn't care. It just keeps on chewing up and spitting out every car it sees. And it is my favorite car. It's such an experience to drive. Being that it only has 3 or 4 gears, it is other than the perfect start mechanism where you got to make sure that you time it right, it is probably one of the absolute easiest dyno destroying cars to drive in the world. On top of the fact that it's the fusion parts are very easy to get, and on top of that, even I am not going to demonstrate it because I refuse to change the settings on this car because it will change my ability to live race the way I do. But I will say this, on stage 5 only, this is a car that if you have it, you can beat all of Tempest 3. That's right, you can run 8.8s, 8.7s, 8.6s. With like one stage 6, I know for a matter of fact you can run a 9-second flat with no stage 6 in this car. I am fairly confident, if I remember correctly, that when this car came out, it was a talking point and a selling point. This car can beat the last Tempest 3 Tier 5 challenge where you have to beat Harkness's Sesto Elemento, which runs, I want to say, an 8.9, 8.899, somewhere in something crazy, or it might be a 9 point something. I may be mixing it up, but regardless, this car, it's just crazy. If you have this car and you have not gone through your elite licenses, now that I've showcased that this car is just ridiculous. It will just chew up and spit out everybody you have to race against. Definitely elite it, 100%. Go into that elite trial, put it in there. If you elited your Supra, well, you have a car that just obliterated Tempest Tier 3. You're welcome. Thank the Ferrari, don't thank me. This car is absolutely insane. Myself personally, I am a F1 fan, and Michael Schumacher is my favorite driver of all time. So if you know F1, you will know that Michael Schumacher was actually involved in this, and that's why it has these weird setup that it does here in the front, because it's supposed to resemble a F1 car from 2002, 2003. It has a rear diffuser like an F1 car. It was the first ever car to have a flappy paddle, automatic gear transmission shifting, no clutch, all that sort of craziness that is present on the F1 cars. It revolutionized the car world. It is amazing. It's awesome. It is my favorite car. I could talk on and on and on for days about how not only is this car amazing in real life, but in CSR2, as I have now showcased, it is the end-all be-all. It blows everything away. It's gone. Good night. See you later. Bet $500,000 if you could. You still win it, no matter what the car is. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I really have enjoyed being able to showcase that I have my old account back, which means I'm going to be able to do a whole lot more content. I have way more cars on this account. I have way more messed up cars as well. I have way more cars that I have bumped in live, and I can do different shift patterns on, dyno beating setups, a whole bunch of craziness. So, if you are excited, if you're looking forward to that as much as I am, to be able to share that with all of you, please consider subscribing to this channel. All support, whether it be subscriptions, comments, likes, etc., all of it is greatly appreciated on my channel. And I will do a really quick little thing here. My video here on the 3.8.0 has received now, at least at the recording of this video, 300 views, which to me is 301, make it now 301, which to me is an absolutely crazy number. I never would have expected to get quite that amount of people watching my videos. So thank you so much for your support. It's really appreciated. I'm trying to bring the absolute best content that I can to you all watching at home. If there's any comments, suggestions, questions, please leave it down in the comment section below, but as always, please keep it respectful. That's going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're excited for the live stream that I'm going to do. I am going to be using this car, the Enzo. This is going to be the car that if you want to come find me, I'm going to be in roughly somewhere between an 11.6 to 11.9 dyno range, somewhere in there. Obviously, if your car is dropped or bumped or mini dropped or mini bumped, it's going to be different. If your car is a low performance point high Evo, you're going to have another change. So if you can find me when I have my live stream and you bet me 200K and you let me know in the live chat of the live stream, I will let you take it. I have no need for it, as I obviously and clearly showed today. That Ferrari can eat and chew up and spit out every car it comes against. And those were not newer players by any means either. The multiple NSXRs, the TVR Griffith was a car that came out quite a long while ago. So those were no newer players. Those were veterans that knew darn well what they were doing when they bet 200K and they lost it. So I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. As always, my name is Jacob, and here at the PNCLCG is where you want to be. Thank you very much for watching. You'll have a blessed day.